Welcome back to the Link Up Listening Party, fresh off our second hiatus in as many months.
I know, man. Listen, but we have justification here. We were out of town on different times, and then, we weren't out of town, but yeah, we're back.
Bro, I've been warning everyone at the end of the podcast. If you don't tell your friends, we're going to stop doing it. That's just a little warning. It's a little mob boss taste.
What month is it?
This is month 5.
Oh, we're on 5. Oh, hey, look, one more month. One more
month. No, I think we should keep going. We got to slow down the schedule a little bit, but we should definitely keep going. But also, here's the bit. You're getting 2 top-tier radio talent without the radio. We're not talking about repetitive songs on the rotation or no commercials. You're just getting this unfiltered. You're getting the best part of the radio without the worst parts of the radio for free. So come on.
Pow. Wow. Jordan, speaking of being out of town, I noticed you're wearing the Seattle Mariners kit on right now, sir. You were in Seattle, looked lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Seattle is incredible. I'm a big Mariners fan now. I've been watching the M's since I was 6. I love Ichiro. I love Ken Griffey Jr. And honestly, I'm sick of watching terrible baseball with the Minnesota Twins. Auggie, you know what? I've had this thing about the Twins, man, and like the performance on the field is so poor. It's got me thinking about, where do things start to falter? That's not the players. It's not the manager. It's upper level leadership. It might even be ownership.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? It always starts at the top, man. When things are bad,
it's Reaganomics, baby.
It trickles down. It trickles all the way down.
Oh no. So I went and followed. I found a good ownership group with the Seattle Mariners. I loved it.
Shout out to the Mariners. I'm a Mariners fan now, I guess. I've renounced my Diamondbacks too, because they've trickled down a lot of pee, and I'm not with that either.
It's like pee is golden. There's a song called what? Golden Sunshine on Abbey Road, which we're covering today.
Wow.
You think I forgot how to segue? I didn't. I still got it. Today we got a doozy of an episode, which I've listened back to some other episodes. I say doozy of an episode every episode, but we do bangers, bro.
It does. Yeah. It does. How many times do you say doozy per? Do we have stats
per episode? Yeah. We got to get Amir. Could you help us out? How many times do I say doozy? Also, Amir's listening. I know he is. Amir is going to be our Link Up Listening Party judge today.
Oh.
So, Amir, I need you to listen to the Link Up segment today. We're going to just go through our links because we don't have a judge today. No judge, no guest, just raw Jordan and Auggie. We're raw dog in the pod. Amir, you're going to be the judge. We're going to do our links, and we'll do all of them. And then you just tell us who won. Does that sound good, Auggie?
That sounds great. I like it.
Boom.
Okay. Let's get to it, man. So this is an album about streets. This one's definitely for all my people standing on the corner, walking across the street. This is J. Cole and the Beatles.
Oh my God. 2014 Forest Hills Drive and Abbey freaking Road. Also, when you said the corner, it got me thinking about that Common song, The Corner. I wish I could give you this feeling. I wish I could. That's such a banger.
So I was listening to that recently, and I'm like, the narrator guy, that guy is ridiculous. He's like, it's our Rock of Gibraltar. And it's like, he's standing on a street corner, bro. Like, it's not really like that serious.
How dare you come? Okay. If you want to start talking shit about the album B by Common, we're going to have problems and we will take a permanent hiatus.
That should be one we cover though. It's a good album. I was listening to that album like in its entirety but I had to like pause for a second. I was like, did he really just compare like a guy standing on a street corner to the Rock of Gibraltar in the Mediterranean Sea? Like, I don't know about this.
Who are we to speak to his experiences?
Or was he calling the guy a rock? Was he like, this guy's just he's about as worthless as a rock?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that one. We know worthless as a rock.
I mean, I don't know, or as valuable as a rock.
Rocks are super valuable. Sorry, my dog is going crazy. I'm trying to. My wife is taking a nap, so I'm trying to like contain him. He's trying to get away. Hold up, we're getting the dog on the pod.
Okay. There he is. Here
we go. It's happening. All right. Should we dive into the synopsis of our stuff? Do you want to start with Abbey Road? Okay, so here's the thing with the Beatles, Auggie. I was for some reason in middle school or high school, I stuck my flag in the Rolling Stones versus the Beatles debate, and I went hard Stones because they rocked more.
I didn't know that there was like a beef between fan base. I didn't know this.
I don't think there really was. And if there is, I mean, whatever. So I was all Stones, no Beatles for me, basic, boring. But in my later years, as I've grown to mature, I've started to really enjoy the Beatles' work. And they've always been known, but I've never dove into it. So I'm still relatively new to all the Beatles lore. I know the Paul is Dead stuff, but I'm really excited to hear what happened with this album and Abbey Road. And I know it's iconic, but I don't know why. So I need you to tell me.
Okay. All right. So the thing about the Beatles is that this album came out in September 26, 1969. This was their 11th studio album. And they were on a run. They were dropping about like 3 albums a year from 1964 to 1969 or
They're
70.
like Kanye that one summer, one album a week. Dude,
they were really, really working. And they recorded at this little studio. You know what I'm saying? It's called EMI Studios, but we'll get to their new name a little bit later.
Yeah.
It just like I started thinking about like how much they were working at this time and how burnt out they must have been. Of course, there was like drama. John Lennon met Yoko Ono, and apparently there was some sort of drama between her and him and the rest of the group. And this was actually the last album that they recorded, but wasn't the last album that they put out.
Really? What?
Yeah. This John silently quit the group right after this, and then they put out a few more albums because they were like they had a lot of stuff in the tank. And
man,
yeah,
good pussy will just make you do some fucking dumb shit.
So that's a good pussy one time. Oops. Oh wait, where's my horn at? That's the horn. That's
also in my new growth, I've decided to be unfiltered, so I'm going to say these things that I just want to say. I
love it. I mean, it's our podcast, and it's not for kids. It is not for children.
We put the E to let you know what it is.
E is for not for everyone. E is for explicit. All right. So speaking of the album, the EMI Studios, which is where they had been recording pretty much all of their stuff, all 11 albums that they had put out until this point, located on 3 Abbey Road in London, and thus this album was named.
That's a strong address. Strong address.
The studio decided like shortly after this, like, hey, you know what? This is Abbey Road Studios. Like, this is what we are. And so cheers to the Beatles for making that happen.
Strong branding.
Definitely. Now this album, widely viewed as their best work, their greatest album. But at the time, many critics didn't really like what they were doing. They were using a lot of synthesizers on this. And Ed Ward of Rolling Stone magazine, he called the album complicated instead of complex, which I don't really understand what he was getting at. And he felt that the use of the Moog synthesizer disembodies and artificializes the band's sounds, and added that they create a sound that could not possibly exist outside of a studio.
Well, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Also, if you have a Moog, you can bring that with you. Right? Yeah, come on, that's how instruments work.
This guy was completely clueless about the recording process, which is hilarious.
Also, imagine what he's saying. Like, oh, you progressed. These are the same people that hate on autotune. If you hate on autotune, you hate on guitar effects, you hate on distortion, you hate on chorus, you hate on all that. And if you're gonna hate on synths, like you're creating something. It's an electronic instrument. That's just the nature of how it works. So if you don't like progression, like I saw this meme. I was like, oh, you don't like autotune? Well, then it's like the whole thing. It's like, well, you don't like my drums? Well, I went and I killed the cow to skin it to make the head of the drum. And if you don't do that, then you're not a real musician. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I explained that terribly, but it just...
Everything has to be organic, bro. You have to grow your own food. If you don't grow everything, then I don't want to eat it because it wasn't sourced from the source. And
it's real pretentious.
It is. And speaking of pretension, our friend Robert Christgau, you want to know where he was with this album?
You know, it's crazy. I have a Robert Christgau interview or Robert Christgau clip for 2014 Forest Hills Drive. He's still around. He was around back then. I thought
he's got a Twitter, bro. He's out here on Twitter.
I knew that, but I didn't know that he was like out here doing it during Abbey Road. I thought he was like a 70s or 80s guy. Not 64.
This was 69, so I mean, he might have
been.
Well, he didn't have like a review for this, but I had to go see what he was talking about with this.
We love Robert, for better or for worse.
Right. Now he likes this album. And you would imagine he would. Like, this is the Beatles' greatest work, and I'm using air quotes. Because I mean, it's up for you to decide. But it's not his favorite Beatles album.
It's his Sgt. Pepper's.
Yes, it is.
Robert Christgau is my guy. Let's get him on the pod. Should we shoot our shot and see if he'll come on?
We should.
Hey, bro, we agree with you and we hate you all at the same time.
I like this one. I'm my two favorite Beatles songs are on this particular album, so I disagree with Robert Christgau. And then, but this is third. Rubber Soul was the second favorite.
Tasteful guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a hipster. I'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh, absolutely. We've read a lot of his work.
All right, man. You want to tell us about 2014 Forest Hills Drive?
Absolutely, Auggie. 2014 Forest Hills Drive is the third and best, in my opinion, studio album from one of our time's most divisive rappers, J. Cole. It came out on December 9th, 2014, way after Abbey wrote. The album took a year to make, with Cole handling the majority of the production. True to what was happening in music around 2014, the album was announced 3 weeks before its release with little marketing. Remember that when everyone was trying to do surprise drops?
Beyonce.
Yeah.
By the way,
the
Beatles did that with this album. They didn't do any promotion. They kind of just dropped it because they were just working so hard at that time, dropping so many albums that it just kind of came and went.
They recorded Here Comes the Sun, drop it. That's a heater. You don't need marketing when you're Jay-Z's prodigy and you have songs like Wet Dreams and No Role Models, Feeling Your Fire. I don't know if you know this, Auggie, but J. Cole went platinum with no features on this album.
Did he really?
He did. I don't know if you heard that. It's actually triple platinum. Triple platinum, dude. It moved 353,000 copies its first week. I even bought a copy because I had a Best Buy gift card and didn't know what to use it on. So I bought J. Cole and I bought Nas's album, Life is Good.
Nice.
2 great albums.
Solid picks for cheers to whoever got you that card.
I think it was my sister Natalie. Big ups to Natalie. She's always gave me the hip hop albums. Let's see. It won Album of the Year at the 2015 BET Hip Hop Awards. It was the top rap album at the 2015 Billboard Awards, and it was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 2016 Grammys. It rightfully lost to Pimp a Butterfly.
What? Yeah, I mean, I like 2014 Forest Hills Drive better than that album. However, I'm not mad at that album at all. They're both
really
great.
You don't rock with the Pimp a Butterfly?
No, I love it, but I like this album better. Is what I'm trying to say.
I did not see that coming, especially with all the times we've shared with Kendrick Lamar together, Auggie.
I love Kendrick. Don't get me wrong. Literally, he has he's put out nothing but classics. Amazing.
Isn't that crazy? Imagine the pressure of being Kendrick to only drop. He's got 3 classic albums under his belt. 3, 4?
Hold on, wait. You could say Section 80.
I would count Section 80.
That's and you gotta count Untitled.
I think that's the one non-classic, but it's still a really spicy, cool thing to have in your catalog. See, I don't think you can say that a classic. That's whoa, this is what we didn't get. And he has this side of him that's so abstract, and all those songs are 7 minutes with 9 beat changes. So I don't think you can call that. I think that's just that was more like a thank you to fans. So I segment that off as not a classic, but still a really cool cherry on top of his discography.
That's fair. Either way, he doesn't miss. And I think Thus We Wait. It's been 4 years. And we're waiting. So pressure's on Kendrick or no pressure. I prefer no pressure.
You said he didn't miss. You forget that he was on that freaking Maroon 5 song.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That he was also on Taylor Swift's song, which
that was awesome.
He was doing it for the pop love,
which I appreciate. But him on the Bad Blood remix is crazy. There's a Taylor Swift featuring Kendrick Lamar song out. How cool is that?
You know that there's a Britney Spears featuring Redman song. Are you familiar with
No. What?
Yeah. Let's Get Dirty.
I love it. Also, you know who else we love? Robert Christgau. He gave this album a 1-star honorable mention rating for his review. He said, Wet Dreams and Love Yours are highlights, while summing up the album as being full of the kind of good intentions the road to irrelevance is paved with. That's so mean, but that's a bar, though.
That was a bar. But you know what? He was completely wrong. And I personally, here's my thing to Robert Christgau. Like, I respect your pen, sir. I respect the pen, but maybe don't critique hip hop albums. Maybe that.
We need to find out. We got to find out. Like, I don't remember everything he said about hip hop records, but I would like to compile them. Let's make a TikTok of like Robert Christgau's greatest hits and just have the quotes just pop up.
That's actually not a bad idea, because then we'll really get his attention.
I love it, and we gotta have him in the pod. But we can't be adversarial with him.
No, we have to be. I think that's his vibe. Is adversarial. Like, he wants the pushback.
But we have to send him a gift card beforehand so he knows that we have good intentions.
Like, here is, what's your favorite restaurant? Oh, something nobody's heard about? Okay, we'll get you a gift card for this place.
Nobu? Oh, what a hipster you are. Looks like you're just rich and pretentious. Should we go to 5 fun facts? Should I go into it? Keep it going with J. Cole?
I'll hit him with the fun facts here.
Oh, you got it? Let's go.
Yeah, I got you, dude. Okay, so, because I want to talk about this, man. Because you mentioned it earlier, the Paul is dead thing. Now, this album cover fueled the fire of the Paul is dead thing, and we'll get more into the album cover. Like, it's iconic. It's their most famous album cover. It's the 4 Beatles walking across the street in the zebra crosswalk. Now, this conspiracy theory is probably my favorite conspiracy theory in all of music, and maybe of all time. I learned about it a few years ago. Paul is dead. The conspiracy theory states that Paul McCartney died in a 1966 car accident and then was replaced with a lookalike that apparently they had some sort of contest to figure out, just to figure out who looks the most like Paul McCartney and could possibly carry a tune. And they did this to spare public grief so that they didn't have to say, oh, Paul's dead, da, 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 da. They could just keep on marching and keep on working, which kind of makes sense, Jordan.
The Illuminati is so empathetic.
And so the reason why this album fueled that fire, or actually I feel like this album kind of started in a way, because they're saying that this was like an Easter egg. This album cover was kind of an Easter egg to give you clues on the fact that they had an imposter, Paul McCartney, in here. And let me just read this for you, okay?
Okay.
This is supposed to be the Beatles. Instead of walking across the street to the recording studio where they're recording, this is them walking away from a funeral procession, or walking in a funeral procession. This procession was led by John Lennon, dressed in white as a religious figure. Ringo Starr was dressed in black as the Undertaker. Paul McCartney, out of step with the others, although he was in step, was a barefoot corpse. Harrison was dressed in denim as a gravedigger. Now, here's why they said this was a fake McCartney, because Paul McCartney was left-handed, but the cigarette is in his right hand. Apparently, you can only use your dominant hand when smoking cigarettes. And then there was a number plate on a Volkswagen parked on the street, and that license plate was 28IF, meaning that McCartney would have been 28 if he had lived, despite the fact that he was actually 27 and they didn't do their math correctly.
Now, if I was George Harrison and I was like, how do we spare public grief? And I'm in this Illuminati meeting, I would not be throwing the license plate on there. It has to be much more subtle than that. You can't be doing 28 if.
Yeah.
That's like writing "I love you, babe" on the dust of your wife's car. Not subtle, very obvious.
Dude, so I love this conspiracy theory. Because it's not really refutable. And like, I think at this time when you didn't have the internet at all, and you can kind of like make stuff up if it made sense. This is great. And Paul McCartney actually addressed this with his Paul is Live thing back in 1993.
Genius.
Yeah, they all have made fun of this since, but I mean, part of me feels like maybe we have a fake Paul McCartney out here, and this guy that's been alive for a very long time maybe isn't the real Paul McCartney.
I'm gonna choose to not give this conspiracy theory any credence, because I love the idea that Paul McCartney produced on a Travis Scott song, and I hold that near and dear to me. Like, I love that. It's awesome.
Well, even better, even a bigger flex was the fake Paul McCartney. That could have actually been in the notes. The liner notes was fake Paul McCartney.
That's Paul producing for 4 or 5 seconds. It's produced by fake Paul McCartney. That's his alter ego for his more modern collabs.
Or an even bigger
oh.
flex, Paul McCartney produced this in 1965 when he was still alive. Pow.
Oh my God. Wait, you mean to tell me he made Piss on Your Grave for Travis and Kanye in 1969? What a legend.
Pow. Okay. Now continuing with the cover.
Yes.
This cover, iconic. I feel like it's probably one of the like it's definitely the Beatles' most iconic cover, possibly the most iconic album cover of all time.
Looks great on a t-shirt.
And
such a banger for t-shirt.
This was made because they were lazy. The title and the album cover, because their working title for this album was Everest, and that was actually the brand of cigarettes that one of the engineers was smoking. And they realized that, like, hey, if we're gonna have an album called Everest, we should probably have a photo of us on Mount Everest or in front of Mount Everest. But that would take forever, and this actually took like 30 minutes to shoot, and it was right outside. So they went with Abbey Road.
They say that inspiration hits like lightning. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
If laziness inspires said lightning, who are we to be the judges? I like it.
I like it. Why go above and beyond when doing something simple is more effective?
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what they say.
Kiss. Now kiss. All right.
Now kiss.
So there's a song on this album that really struck me as my fun fact number 3.
Okay.
This was Maxwell's Silver Hammer, and I'll get into why it struck me in a bit. But all the rest of these Beatles, besides Paul McCartney, who wrote it, they all hated it.
Why?
So George said, sometimes Paul would make us do these really fruity songs. And I mean, my God, Maxwell's Silver Hammer was so fruity. And they spent weeks on this because Paul wanted to get it perfect. John Lennon said it was more of Paul's granny music.
That's hilarious.
It was a very happy sounding, upbeat, melodic record, but the lyrics were very dark. It was definitely not Grammy music, which gets me to my next fun fact. This song, in my mind, is about a school shooting.
Yeah, so you texted me this. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, so you pay attention to this, and every verse is about him like sneaking up on somebody and then shooting them. And the chorus he shoots them, right? It's like bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer, da da da. I don't know how I can't repeat how it goes, to be honest with you.
Something like that.
Yeah. And this song's about a medical student who goes around randomly shooting people. Very dark. It just reminded me of like school shootings, and I just went down a rabbit hole of like, is this inherent in Western culture to shoot up schools? Or like, I don't know. I just went down this whole rabbit hole thinking to myself, and then I thought more, and I'm like, nah, this is like, this is purely coincidence.
Yeah, I think you're making that up. I think you're inside your own head, man.
I really was. I was like, in my head, I was like, I just had that like, whoa moment. Like I was really freaking myself out.
I feel like they're going to go that route. It'd be much more blatant, like Pumped Up Kicks, which is a song I can't believe that we played on the radio as frequently as we did in hindsight. Like that ish is dark.
It slaps though.
I know.
All right.
Like I would honestly take it out of library, but I can't I can't play this anymore. And then someone be like, hey, play Pumped Up Kicks. Like, that's a great idea, dude. I got you.
So slaps. Okay. Fun fact number 5, Octopus's Garden. I also texted this one to you the other day.
Yes.
I believe that Ringo Starr's song Octopus's Garden influenced the creation of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Go on. I'm all in.
Okay. So the song is about an octopus inviting you down to his garden in the shade. And
my octopus teacher.
And to me, like this, he's talking about Bikini Bottom. And I can't prove it, but I think the creators owe Ringo a great deal of money or respect or whatever. Because as we all know, or maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but Squidward, actually an octopus.
What?
Yeah. Squidward is an octopus.
And let's not forget, Ringo Starr narrated some episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine, so he has an affinity for children's television.
Boom. See, and okay,
all right.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you could replace the SpongeBob SquarePants like theme song, like, and you could replace it with Octopus's Garden, and nobody would really like be like, hey, that's weird.
You lost me. How dare you come for the SpongeBob like soundtrack? Slappers.
Well, no, I love the song SpongeBob SquarePants. Like I
I'm talking
love
about
the
all
song.
of it. I'm talking about all the instrumental stuff, the Hawaiian sounding like luau stuff. You lost me, Auggie. Sorry.
But this could add to it, is what I'm saying. You could weave this in, and nobody would really notice.
Did you get to enjoy SpongeBob as a kid, or were you a little bit too old for that?
I wasn't too old. I just at the time I didn't really like it. I felt like I was too old, but I wasn't too old. You know, like
I feel it. I was the perfect age for SpongeBob, and the more I think about it, and I'm glad my wife's taking a nap because she's heard me go on this rant 1,000 times. But I think SpongeBob's humor set the stage for internet humor because it's so randomly dark, and so like it'll get dark or get really serious, or it's slapstick. It encounters all these different types of humor that we see on Twitter every single day and TikTok. Like a lot of stuff, it can be is derivative of jokes that happen in SpongeBob. And putting in jokes for adults is nothing new in television, right? Tom and Jerry's full of them. But
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, yeah. But like the way SpongeBob did it and the way it impacted like just its timing and how it's aged so well, at least the older SpongeBob. The new SpongeBob, there's a point there where SpongeBob just starts yelling and I hate it. But like the old prime SpongeBob, it really led to people my age understanding humor that way and demonstrating, and like we express our humor in ways that SpongeBob writers would express like ridiculous plot points. And it blows my mind the more I watch old SpongeBob off the edibles. It's great.
I got to go back to SpongeBob. So cheers to that. And then I'll play Octopus's Garden like at the end.
You're gonna do your own. What's the dark side of the rainbow? You're gonna
dark
do
side of the rainbow.
You're gonna do the dark side of Bikini Bottom.
That's actually kind of funny. Dark side of Bikini Bottom. Okay, so that was my 5th fun fact. So you want to hit us with some fun facts for J. Cole 2014 Forest Hill Drive?
Yes. All right. Fun fact number 1: the song's title, or the album's title, rather, is in fact the address where Cole lived until 2003. It's where he lived with his mom, brother, and stepdad, and it's also where he decided that he was going to pursue a career in music. I always wondered that because it came out in 2014. So it's like, wait, what's up with like? Was that just his road? Is he like going back to his hometown, like in present day? What is it? No, it's an address.
Nice.
It's just coincidental that it was also 2014.
He was probably saving it. I feel like he was like, "This is the one I'm putting out in 2014."
That's genius if it was. Good for you, Jermaine. Speaking of that house, he bought the house in 2014, and as far as we can tell, he still rents it out for an extremely low price so that those struggling could live there and figure out their next move without the rain cloud of a more significant rent payment hanging over them.
I love it.
So, J. Cole, the lone good landlord.
Cheers to him, man.
Cheers to Cole. That seems like a very Cole move. I love how he appears to be about it all the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Fun fact number 3: Crazy Bone and Busy Bone recorded a track with Cole for the album, but it didn't make the cut, clearly, because if it was on the album, J. Cole would have gone platinum with features.
Yeah, so we couldn't have that. We definitely couldn't have that. No.
Other failed collabs include Mos Def and Future at the end of No Role Models, but they just couldn't get the timing right with those guys. In No Role Models, fun fact number 4, Cole infamously raps, "My only regret was too young for Lisa Bonet. My only regret was too young for Nia Long." In response to that, on Larry King, Nia Long said, "He's not really too young. He just doesn't know it."
Ooh. Oh my God. Like if I was J. Cole and you couldn't tell me shit. Like, oh my gosh.
For a basketball player, he definitely wasn't shooting a shot there. Come on.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah.
Missed out.
Maybe that's why he's in the UBL or whatever.
His contract's up. I love seeing those graphics. Like J. Cole, who's like 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 fouls.
He's living the dream, man. I'm not gonna make fun of him for stats. He's really
no, of course not. It's actually really cool, but it's also hilarious that that's the stat line. It's like it can be both. It can be hilarious and awesome and inspiring.
True.
All right, track 2 from 2014 Forest Hills Drive is January 28th It contained a sample from Japanese artist Hi-Fi Set and their song Sky Restaurant. They tried for months to get in contact with them to get the sample clearance, as hip-hop producers have to, right? You got to clear your sample. And the sample clearance finally came in from Japan at 2 a.m., 7 hours before the final deadline to turn in the album. So they were cutting close.
Yeah, he was probably sweating, man.
Yeah, just horribly. This is a terrible angst, like an anxiety attack there. But I guess it's just that song doesn't really slap like that, so I can honestly go without it. I take it back. Whatever.
It was great. I'm glad it made it.
I'm happy that they had their whole creative vision executed. Do you want to move on to One's Gotta Go? Did you prep One's Gotta Go for this week?
I sure did, man.
I'm going to give you, I want to go first.
Okay.
Okay, I know we're supposed to do 4. I'm giving you 3 because I wanted it to be difficult for you.
Okay.
And I feel like sometimes the 4th one can be, at least with me, it can kind of be like a layup. That's obviously it. But I'm giving you 3 bangers here.
Okay.
Number 1, Paula's Dead. Out of there. Number 2, Here Comes the Sun and Come Together, the 2 big singles from the album. Number 3, the album art. What is going?
Number 2, those singles, they got to go. Because my favorite song on this album is "I Want You."
Yeah, we're not talking about your favorite. We're talking about, I guess it is their 11th studio album, so they don't need hits like that. But those are like 2 of the most iconic Beatles songs.
I mean, they got more. I mean, you missed out. Their single on this was Something. That was like their. That was. But
what are we banging now? It's Come Together and Here Comes the Sun.
I want you so bad. That's
Something
that's
is yeah. and I Want You is cool. All right, fine. All right. I thought it'd be really difficult for you, but you just glaze over it. Give me mine.
All right. So here's 4. I could narrow this to 3 for you, but I'm gonna go 4.
Feels right.
I'm gonna go 4. So here's what has to go from really this is his career, because there's one thing that really isn't Forest Hills Drive era. Okay, first one is Kendrick Lamar, who is a peer, he's a muse, and he's his biggest competitor. Cole would be the undisputed GOAT if not for Kendrick, or not. Maybe he wouldn't be.
You think he'd be the undisputed GOAT?
Possibly.
No.
I mean, people say that Kendrick's the GOAT right now.
Kendrick is the GOAT.
Yeah.
It's Kendrick and Drake. And Cole is up there, but he's not like in that conversation.
Okay. All right.
It's that one. Well, no, I don't want Kendrick to go though. So.
Yeah. See, I got you.
But I understand Kendrick's impact on Cole. How they have that rumored collab EP that's been rumored for like, I don't know, 13 years. But okay. Kendrick. Wait, what's number 2?
The 2014 Forest Hills Drive tour. This is where J. Cole decided that he was going to perform his album in its entirety, making him a live show legend. That don't impress me much. Okay. And number 3, letting Nas down. I mean, of course,
that's got to stay.
He let Nas down by making singles just for the sake of singles, and then Nas, famously was disappointed in Jay-Z or in J. Cole about that. And then he put out that song, "Let Nas Down," and he decided at that point he wasn't going to make singles for the sake of being singles. And then our 4th, Jordan. I think you could probably guess what the 4th one is. 4th one is no features. And of course, he's since broken that, disappointingly with his latest. But at this point, he was definitely no features Cole. What's it?
Okay, those last 2 have to stay. He has to disappoint Nas with Workout Plan, which is a great song.
Yeah. I love that song.
It's a good one. In terms of you're just making singles, there's much worse singles to make than that.
Definitely. But he was on a run of making singles for the sake of being singles. I understand why Nas was disappointed. It wasn't just that. And that's
why his first album is probably, so I said that this is my favorite album from Cole. That first one though, Can't Get Enough with Trey.
Yeah.
Oh.
It goes.
What's that first one called? The Locker Room? No.
That's
the first one.
Born
He's sitting
Sinner?
on the bench.
Born Sinner?
No, Born Sinner is kind of garbo. What is that album? What does it matter? Whatever.
Cold World. Whatever.
Is it Cold World? Oh, fuck it. It's the second one. I don't care that he performed his album. in its entirety.
Okay. I'll tell you my history on that is since that tour, I don't miss Cole shows. Like I'm going to every Cole tour for the rest of my life because they're
Well,
been
what
great.
was so well, I wasn't there. So what was so awesome about it?
It was just like it's hard to describe the vibe, but like he was just basically like, look, he's like, I really love this album. He's like, you know, and you're here probably because you love this album. So I'm gonna do something I never did before. And what most people don't do is he's like, fuck my singles. He's like, I might do those, I might not, but I'm performing every song on this album because that's the name of the tour. And he did it. And I just had such a good time. And I already loved the album. I had such a good time that I was like, well, I got to catch this next one. And then the next one was, what was the next one? I can't remember, but I went to the next one. I was like, this is great. Then I went to the next one and I was like, this is amazing. And so now I'm not missing.
I'm not going to take that away from you. So I'm not going to push back on it.
Okay. I mean, it's not like a super groundbreaking thing. It's just big for me. It's just like, yeah.
Well, and if that speaks to you, and that's what, if that means a lot to you, that's what music and concerts are for. So hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I love Cole shows. Cole and Travis Scott, I think, are two guys that I'm never missing.
Oh my gosh. And Travis at Soundset, were you there? Have we talked about this?
I left right after like the second song because the weather started getting weird.
It was incredible. For those of people, listeners that were not at Soundset, what was that, 2017? It was Lauryn Hill and Travis Scott performing. And this is when Lauryn Hill wasn't showing up. She was back, but she wasn't showing up for shows. So like, there's no way Lauryn Hill is showing up. She shows up during the golden hour. So the sun is setting and it's gorgeous. And she's doing the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Terribly,
updated.
by the way. Terribly.
What?
It was horrible.
That was terrible. What?
It was yeah, you couldn't vibe to it. She was just like doing sped up versions of her song. The band couldn't keep up with what she was trying to do.
Really? Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. Also, I was but I loved it. I was like, I remember watching Lauryn Hill, and like I heard like her drummer was doing like the trap rolls live. I was like, this guy is incredible. I loved everything about it. And then all of a sudden, she's done. The sky goes dark, and then they wheel out the big crow that like Travis was like going to be like jumping on for Birds in the Trap Sing Big Night, and all of a sudden he's a couple songs in and he starts just mobbing. It starts raining and it's crazy. And I'm like, they're going to shut down Soundset. Like we're going to have to go home like in the middle of a set, which sucks. And then he hurt his rib. So then like, he's like screaming through the pain, like as he's like mobbing on stage. And all of a sudden he goes, my rib's better now. Let's go. And then his vocal performance gets way better. And he had like 35,000 people going in the rain. And then all of a sudden the rain stopped and there was a double rainbow that was like going over it was like, was it a single or a double rainbow? I don't know. Again, but there was a rainbow, one or two, that was going towards the stage as he ended it. And it was magnificent. It was the best concert I've ever been to.
I'm sad I missed that because like I started feeling like a little bit under the weather. My wife was feeling terrible. And when it started getting windy and rain started coming down, we were like, we got to go. Like, otherwise we're going to be like wild sick.
And I respect it. But the fact that we were all mobbing in torrential rainfall, like it looked bad. Like we were like looking at lightning off in the distance, like hope it doesn't come over here because that would be terrible.
That's the night that Stormy was conceived.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys called that, by the way. That's the most ridiculous thing. Have I told you my Carly and Travis story?
No.
Oh, well, this is great. That's a good thing to have it on the pod. So I had the press pass, and then I had my friend Dwinell Rowland, future guest on the pod. He had like artist access. So like we were way back there, way backstage, and they have free massages backstage.
Oh, yes. I did hear this one. But continue.
So I'm getting this massage. I'm just chilling. And I'm wearing my vintage Sonics. Or no, what? I don't know. I was wearing some vintage NBA t-shirts, just enjoying
Seattle
my life.
Guy.
Seattle, hey, big Seattle vibes, always. Then all of a sudden, like the massage is done. I'm like, oh, thank you. I tip her. And then I look over and I see Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner just walking, holding hands, but they're doing like the big like swoop, like they're in middle school. I'm like, that's not how I thought they would interact. that was it.
Yeah. I mean, then maybe that day or later on, there was a, little tiny baby inside. while she was.
I think it was post because of Stormy. Like that's why. Because like it was a storm and like
maybe that. What if they didn't even have sex that day? What if it just happened
like a Jesus situation?
Yeah, like that performance just impregnated Kylie.
It was a great performance. Honestly, I think I might have got impregnated. I think I had a miscarriage, but it's fine.
It's actually a kidney stone, but
all right, link up time, baby. And then I said earlier, this is just for Amir, but everyone's judging, not just Amir. But he is the king judge, but everyone's judging. All right. So you listen and let us know who won this round.
All right. Let me hit this.
Give us that Chris Cruz.
And now it's time for the Link Up Challenge. Auggie 5000 versus Jordan. Fight.
Also, I'm seeing the download numbers for that Metallica and NSYNC episode. One of our worst. You got to listen to that because Chris Cruz is a monster.
Yes, he's a beast. That was actually a really good episode. So if you listen to this podcast and you missed it, yeah, you definitely got to check it out.
I know it's like, Metallica and NSYNC. I don't like metal and I don't care about NSYNC. I understand, but
I don't.
Chris brought the bangers. Okay, do you want to start or should I start?
Go for it.
It doesn't matter because we're doing a comprehensive judgment. All right, here we go. Come Together. It's a song by the Beatles. The goal of the song Wet Dreams by J. Cole is to come together.
Okay. I got to give that one to you. I like that. Coming out with the heat, Jordan. All right.
Bow, bow.
All right. This is simple. Both these albums are named after an important street of their artistic development.
You can't use the premise of the episode during the link up.
Hey, man.
I guess we never said that, but I thought that was an unspoken rule. All right. Vinyls produced on 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Vinyls produced Blessings by Big Sean, Drake, and Kanye. Kanye has numerous songs with Paul McCartney. You might know him from the Beatles.
But you know what? That was not the real Paul McCartney. So.
Oh, you're right. My bad. I forgot.
No, I was playing. All right. Both of these albums refer to marine locations. Of course, our aforementioned Octopus's Garden, Ringo Starr's classic, and Saint-Tropez on 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Love it. Time out. I lost my dog. I want to make sure he's not eating anything he's not supposed to.
Okay. Now this is the theme music of him gathering his dog. All right, is he going to swipe the mouth?
Never mind, he was underneath me the entire time.
Let's go.
All right, Tristan. Hey. All right, let's see. Vinyls, remember him from the last link? He also produced Sex With Me by Rihanna. Rihanna worked with Paul McCartney on 4 or 5 Seconds. You also know Paul McCartney from the Beatles.
Man, bro, come on, man. Amir, you know Amir. He's using the same link. I'll give that to you because the show must go on. But
yeah.
All right. Drake.
Yes.
He has more slaps than both J. Cole and the Beatles.
Yeah. Well,
it's the link.
Okay. This is the lyric. I got more slaps which is crazy.
And it is true on both counts. He does have more slaps than both artists.
It's statistically proven. It's not a matter of taste. It's a matter of stats and Billboard, baby.
Wow.
All right. The End is a song from Abbey Road. Correct, Auggie?
That's correct.
Vinyls produced The Ends by Travis Scott. Travis also has a song with Paul McCartney.
All right, let me go.
You're mad that I found? Sorry, I'm going to keep beating this drum.
Vinyls? You're going to beat the vinyl to death?
Yeah, Vinyl. I follow him on Twitter. Great producer.
That's begrudgingly, by the way. Get him, Amir.
Sorry, those are good links.
All right, number 4 on my list here. Both artists, J. Cole and the Beatles, created their own labels in order to have more creative control. Of course, Dreamville, we all know that J. Cole has that. The Beatles label is Apple.
Sick. Dang it. It's not me to say, but I'll give you that link. That's the end of mine. Mine were all vinyls or sex jokes.
All right, well, that concludes. That was the end of mine too. So
nice. That's great.
We're good. Like we're good with each other now. But
yeah,
we'll find out who won either on Twitter at the Link Up LP or on the next podcast. So make sure you tune in.
When this drops, we'll put a week-long poll up, and maybe we'll chop up that video Nah, we haven't done that. It's hard to chop up videos.
It is.
Dude.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Recording a podcast is easy. Branding it,
I know that's work. So a lot of your favorite. Let's talk about the podcast industry here for a second. So
okay. Yeah.
Similar to the radio industry in the sense that there's a lot of moving parts. In radio, we had a lot of different staff members doing different things.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And but in the podcast world, they really do those things. And
yes,
if you hear a great podcast, there's at least 5 other people that are doing things to help that podcast get to you.
Yeah, producers, people that make memes for the social channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and this is a 2-man show. So
I tried to get that wine endorsement, but they never emailed me back. Boo.
Boo.
And we'll happily. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Phoenix Suns.
This is not a local team. However, it is my favorite basketball team on this planet, and they have a 3-0 lead on the Denver Nuggets as we speak. Suns in 4. As our friend in the Denver Nuggets arena screamed at Edgar as he pummeled him from a lower seat.
Check out available season ticket memberships at PhoenixSuns.com. Thank you for supporting this episode of the Link Up LP. What if we get our first cease and desist from the Phoenix Suns?
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. But if they did that, I wouldn't even I would be like a little butthurt, but I also wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, well, at least they acknowledged me.
We gave them a season ticket membership plug. What else do they want?
I know. Jordan, this podcast is also sponsored by Double Take Salsa. Have you had Double Take Salsa, Jordan?
Double Take Salsa? No, but I'm interested.
So listen, man, the Double Take Salsa made right here in Minnesota.
Love it.
They were also featured on a very popular YouTube show called, you may have heard it, Hot Ones. Yeah, they were on Hot Ones, and their stuff is fantastic. Go get the aces and eights. I just copped my 2nd jar from Lunds and Byerly.
Okay.
Go do that. It's amazing.
2 questions. 1 question, because you answered where you can get it, which is Lunds and Byerly's. But 2, this is my 2nd question. Now, it's on Hot Ones. Is it hot with no flavor? I don't like heat with the heat with the objective of not adding the flavor bothers me. If I need something to be hot and delicious. Is it hot and delicious?
So that's actually like their tag phrase was like, heat comes second, flavor comes first.
Well, I hope that didn't come off as anti-spicy. I'm very pro-spicy, but I want to make sure there's an objective to what we're doing. I'm not trying to do like a blazing challenge every day, because that didn't have any flavor. It was just hot. White delicious. People heat. I need deliciousness. And
so
what's it called again?
So Double Take Salsa. They make
Double Take Salsa.
They make hot sauces. I got their Carolina Reaper sauce, which isn't as, I mean, it's really hot, but it's not as hot as you might think, being Carolina Reaper. Delicious stuff. They have their signature hot sauce, which also is delicious. And then the salsa is the aces and eights. I have like the Verde Good, which the Verde Good is good, but the aces and eights so far is my favorite. But they have like a collection, bro. It's so delicious. I got sent a care package from a friend of Double Take Salsa, and since then I am a Double Take guy. Delicious.
I love it. Now, when you go to Lunds and Byerly's and buy some, make sure you whisper to the cashier, "Link Up LP," to get 10% off your order.
I would love to look on. Just report back on how much you actually got a discount for.
Auggie. All right. As we wrap up, in summation, we have danced around this topic all day. It's the reason why the podcast exists. Do we see any similarities between J. Cole and the Beatles?
So I thought about this, right? Like, of course, like on the surface level, it's both of these are addresses or streets or what have you, and they're both album covers. Both of them are at these locations. They're definitely stylistically not similar. When you look at their careers, this was what, J. Cole's 3rd album? Was that right? It's the Beatles' 11th. The Beatles were working like Kanye that summer, those 3 summers. And at this point in the Beatles' career, in the Beatles' life, they were jaded. They were jaded with music. They were jaded with the music industry. They worked themselves to death. There was a lot of drama. They had to convince their old producer to work with them by saying, "Hey, like you dictate what we're going to do." And he wanted them to go back to their old ways, which I'm not sure what the old ways were.
Yeah.
Maybe the old ways were just listening to him. Um, but yeah, and John Lennon was like very aloof, wasn't really vibing with the group, and this was the final recorded album from them.
Mhm.
And Cole, he still had a lot of bangers to give us, and he's still giving us stuff.
The new album is great. The only similarity I can come up with, and this is not exclusive to J. Cole and the Beatles, it's exclusive to albums named after locations, is that these albums named after locations always take us back. The location works in harmony with a moment of time in the artist's career. So even though they're invoking a location, they're also invoking a time period, right? You kind of explained that with the Beatles and where they were at with Abbey Road and the disenchantment and everything around the creation of that album. Cole's going back home, trying to find his roots, right? So again, this is not Cole or Beatles centric. It's more like, well, if you're going to name an album, if I were to make an album, Driftwood Road, not only am I talking about Driftwood Road, I'm talking about growing up on Driftwood Road, you know?
Right.
So that's not the most revelatory thing I've ever said, but I think I think you can start listening to albums named after locations and start to pick up how those two things, time and location, work in harmony. They are dimensions, right?
Yeah. And you know, I think you went through the same thing with that I did when pondering this, because like, and then with the knowledge of the fact that like the album was named Abbey Road because they really didn't have anything better to name it, and also they didn't want to travel to Mount Everest to shoot an album cover. And honestly, they were working so hard, man. They worked a hard day's night, Jordan. They really worked a hard day's night.
You know who really works hard? Logic. Remember that damn song? We had to play that every hour.
Oh my God. Oh
God. Okay. Logic.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My whole thing was Logic took every Big Sean verse, condensed it to the most boring chorus ever. You listen to Finally Famous 3, and then like, I'm gonna make this into a chorus. I work hard every day, yay.
Damn.
Whereas Big Sean didn't need 16 bars to talk about working hard, which he does. I believe that Big Sean works hard because he talks about it in detail. Logic just says I work hard. No, show, don't tell. This is writing 101.
Yo, the artist formerly known as Logic, I guess, because he's not an artist anymore, right? He's not doing any.
I don't believe him.
Any of that stuff.
Did you know he's biracial
though? Yo, so I found the similarity in these two albums, and here it is. Of Abbey Road in 2014, Forest Hills Drive. Jordan, are you ready for this? This is the revelatory moment. Okay. Both these albums, if you look at their track listing, and I'm going to go through their track listing right now. Okay. Here we go. Abbey Road, we have.
Are you doing the amount of songs on the album as the link?
No. Come Together.
Okay.
Something. Maxwell Silverhammer. Oh, Darling. Octopus's Garden. I Want You. She's So Heavy. Side 2. Here Comes the Sun. Because. Medley. Her Majesty. And I think the end is on like the remastered version. And then Forest Hills Drive. We go through these songs. Intro, January 28th, Wet Dreams, 03 Adolescence, A Tale of Two Cities, Fire Squad, Saint-Tropez, GOMD, No Role Models, Hello, Apparently, Love Yours, Note to Self. All these songs, they all have one thing in common.
What is it?
They all have no features. In summation,
bro, you had me hook, line, and sinker. You were working for something.
I had it though. It's there, man.
I guess you're right.
The Beatles went platinum with no features. J. Cole went platinum with no features.
You gotta respect it.
There's synchronicity there, man. There's synergy.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think that wraps up In Summation. Augie, let's talk about what we really want to talk about now. Did you watch Loki?
No. It's been a very busy weekend. I have not got to watch Loki yet. I'm super excited. By the way, I've been watching Bad Batch. I think I'm not up to date right now. I think I think I'm 2 I'm 2 episodes behind at this point.
Yeah.
But it's been great so far. I've been really excited.
I disagree. I think it's been very boring up until it was the first episode in the most recent album, or not album. The first episode and the most recent episode, slappers, everything in between. Ugh. But we're getting there.
I feel the buildup, and I have one concern is that Saw Gerrera looked like a white guy when they went to go visit him.
Well, Forrest Whitaker's coming back to play him in Andor, so that can't last for very long.
Why would they make him look like a white guy though? I don't know.
That was just his haircut in the earlier days. He had like he had like the fade going on. Mm-hmm. He had like the what's it when the fade, like the what's that called? What's that hairstyle called?
I don't know. Top fade.
It's top fade. You got the top fade going on.
But it's a very light skinned Saw Gerrera. I'd like to see him again. I don't know if he pops up in these 2 episodes I'm behind.
I hope they may. I would like to see how he becomes like an absolute extremist because I love it. As an Arab man, I love the representation.
Oh damn, man! Oh damn. Well,
yeah, dude. Okay, Loki take. It's going to be the best show of the 3. I can already tell. Oh yeah, they're not going to mess it. They're like, I think I love the thematic stuff of WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but the plot was kind of with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. That's because of all the things they had to take out of it.
Yeah, which they should just let it ride, frankly. Yeah. And then I felt WandaVision fell off because I wasn't in it for like the action scenes. I was in it for the development, the emotional beats of WandaVision slapped, but I think we're about to see that. I think we're going to see everything come together with Loki and just get like a really weird, emotional and shattering, a boundary shattering type TV show. I'm really excited for it. You're gonna love it.
Can we get more than 8 episodes though? Like
it's only 8 episodes.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that I think the last 2 were 8 or 9 episodes each.
Yeah, Loki. How many episodes of Loki? I hope it's like 12. Only 6 episodes. Jeez. They're giving us that's gonna be like okay. Also,
this better be 6 slappers. Well, I'll forgive it if it's 6 absolute bangers.
Bro, you watch this episode, then text me. Owen Wilson is a gem. He's back, baby. This is like you'll remember why Owen Wilson took over the world when you see his performance. It's absolutely electrifying. I love him.
I love him too. And who else is in this that's familiar? The woman from what's that show that had Journey Smollett in it? It was on HBO. Did you watch?
I could not tell you.
Journey Smollett.
Okay, so apparently Mark Ruffalo is going to be in this
as the Hulk.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the cast of Loki. So you got Tom Hiddleston, right? Owen Wilson, Sophia Martino. I don't know how to say this person's name, but she was so great as the judge. It's Giu. Is that Gugu? Gugu Mbatha-Raw. She was phenomenal. Sasha Lane, Richard E. Grant. You know him as Admiral Pride from The Rise of Skywalker and more. Wunmi Masaku. Let's see. Tara Strong, and then Tessa Thompson's apparently in this. Valkyrie.
Yes.
I don't know how she's gonna pop up in this.
Oh, it's easy, dude. He's like traveling through like different timelines and different whatever. Like he's going everywhere.
Yeah, but I don't know like why like the Hulk and you're gonna pick out the Hulk and Valkyrie is like a random combo. But I can't wait. I'm really excited by it.
Well, all 3 were on the same planet together. What's the name of that planet?
Big facts. That's big facts. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wonder if there'll be like a Oh, they're gonna do some Ragnarok type like thing. Oh. That's a great one.
Oh, by the way, how excited are you for Black Widow on a 1 to 10?
3. I don't really understand the hype of Black Widow.
Yeah,
I want to be hyped, but it's not. It's no Loki. It's no Captain Marvel. Like it's no Doctor Strange.
And the Taskmaster is our villain in this, right?
What's a Taskmaster? What's their significance?
I forgot.
We're way out of our bandwidth right now. It's not music. We don't know anything. We're just along for the ride.
It's and it's played by the guy who plays the sheriff in Stranger Things, and I interviewed him, and I can't remember his name right now.
That guy.
Yeah.
David Harbour.
Yeah.
I thought that was like
Dave Harbour. Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be like her dad or something. But he's the task. I don't know if he's the villain. He seems to be like. I thought he's like an alliance or like a friend of.
Nah, I think he's the
Scarlet
bad guy. Hold on, let me look.
Oh, that'd be cool.
IMDb Black Widow. Let's see. Full cast and crew.
David Harbour and the Russian accent. I feel like that's big Stranger Things season 4, like foreshadowing.
Oh, he's the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm into it though. I'm excited by the amount of TV coming out, and I know I was worried. I was talking about this on my radio show about how I was getting kind of sick. I was getting superheroed out, even though I'm really into WandaVision and Falcon the Winter Soldier. And I was worried about Loki. Like, I don't know. I was most excited about this, but I don't know. Then I waited like 2 days to watch it. And I watched it. I was like, oh, I'm back in. This is phenomenal. Like, this is going to be the best. So, and I feel the way about Bad Batch too. But like, you can't expect everything to be bangers like that. You can't just jump in with a banger like that and to be emotionally affected and care about these things from the jump. You have to let it build. So I'm just being impatient.
Yeah, I feel you with I feel you with the Bad Batch about like it being kind of slow moving. But it just reminds me of Clone Wars. Like Clone Wars was hella slow moving.
Yeah, and this is Clone Wars season 8 basically, which is great. I loved in the first episode how like it starts off as the Clone Wars and burns away into the Bad Batch. I don't care about the Bad Batch characters. I barely care about Omega. I want to care about her, but I'm like, I'll get there. I know at the end of the season, I'm gonna be crying like a baby whenever something sad happens because they're going to. It's gonna be sad, and I can't wait.
What do you think? What do you think she is though? Like, what do you think she's like got going on?
I have no idea, but I feel like the show is going to tell us what happens to the Kaminoans because in The Mandalorian we only see human Kaminoans. So I think this is my theory. There's going to be a battle on Kamino because they're starting to like. You've seen the episodes, you know this. There's starting to be a divide between the Kaminoans and the Empire, and they want to still have some presence in the Empire, but they know that they're kind of on the ropes. So I think they're going to use the chips, like in the remaining clones, against the Empire, and like there's going to be a battle on Kamino, and that's how all the clones get killed because they're fighting in this battle for Kamino, and all those alien Kaminoans are like going to hack into the inhibitor chips and make them fight for the Empire. And that's how they all die.
Huh. Okay.
And I feel like Omega, then there's a whole theory that like Omega's force sensitive. Like she's like the first force sensitive clone, and that's how they're going to work towards Palpatine. But there's also some stuff in the comics. Like in this comic, Darth Vader number 11, into the fire Exegol, you find out that Luke Skywalker's hands on Exegol, and they were using that to make Snoke. So it's there's a lot of cloning stuff going on right now. Yeah. Sorry for spoiling that comic.
No, that's cool.
It's juicy. I'm just along for the ride. Of all the Star Wars shows coming out, I have the lowest expectations for Bad Batch. I'm just along to get some content in my life. But once the Acolyte or Ahsoka or Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out, I expect bangers. But right now, you're just like the appetizer. Bad Batch.
When do we get some? Because like I want to get a live action like Rex. You know what I'm saying? I want to get live action.
It's going to be in the Ahsoka show, and I hate to tell you, he's going to die. There's just no way he doesn't die.
Okay, well, I'm excited, and I'm prepared to be heartbroken.
Because he's old.
Yeah, he's that dude, though.
He is that dude. Have you seen, there's a video, there's like a screenshot from Return of the Jedi. There's an old guy with like a big white beard. Like, that's Rex, and that's why they made Rebels. Rex looked old like that guy, so it could be canonical. Like he was in the Return of the Jedi.
I like how they try to work back they work back to this. Like you mentioning them keeping Luke Skywalker's hand and using that for clone technology for Snoke. Like the whole Snoke thing and the whole, Snoke was being cloned over and over again type of thing. Mm-hmm. Like that was like weird. And I don't know, we can debate like whether that was a worthwhile thing or not, but I'm glad they're working back to it. It
seems as though they're going to I like that they're filling in the gaps. Like in The Mandalorian, we see like the clone outline of like a Snoke prototype in like thing. And that's 9 AUI. So it's 9 years. It's 9 years after Return of the Jedi. The Bad Batch is after episode 3. So they have some time to work with to figure out like how Palpatine came back. It's really exciting. We're really off the rails just talking mad Star Wars. But
if you understand ABY, you are with us. So I was like, I realized I understood that, and I was like, damn, man, I'm really in here. I'm really in the Star Wars shit, man.
Yeah, I really wrecked you. I'm so proud. Well, if you have any Star Wars or music questions, feel free to tweet us at the Link Up LP or at Kylo Jally or at Auggie 5000.
Yes, please do.
Also, make sure you rate and review us, baby. 5 stars, because that's what we deserve. We work hard. We put at least 90 minutes of prep into every episode. So that's pretty solid. At least.
But by the way, before we go,
yes,
Jordan, I want you on record saying 3 words. I think you know what these 3 words are.
Suns in 4, baby.
That's it, baby.
I want them to win the title. I'm into it. Win the title. That's 3 words.
I'm gonna put together a GoFundMe. I want like people to like. I wanted this to be a community effort. If the Suns if they do the thing, I want it to be a community effort for getting me a tattoo. I'm gonna do a GoFundMe, and maybe I'll donate that GoFundMe to kids that can't afford tattoos or something.
Yeah, that raging health pandemic. Kids can't get tattoos. We gotta do something about it.
But I want it to be a community effort. So if you love me, if you love the podcast, be ready for me to get a tattoo. I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
Can it be on the top of your head? So you either have to rock it or grow your hair back.
If it's on the top of my head, you're gonna see it no matter what. So
exactly. I'm all about placement.
All right.
All right. We done did it.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Bye.